Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Demon Prince Powie, and today we have a 2000 points list just for you. So this is a bit of a weird list. It's just going to be all the Demon Princes in one list, which I think is going to be kind of fun. Let's see how the mechanics work and let's see what's in the list. So first off, we're picking Be'lakor, who will be the Warlord. That his abilities for the negating shooting to 18 inches is nice. Also forcing battle shock tests as well later on in the game is good as well as his Shadow of Chaos aura, which is handy. So first off, we're going to go through the winged demon princes first. So we're going to have one of Khorne with the Argraff King of Blades relic. Then we're going to have a winged Slaanesh prince with the Soul Stealer relic, and then we're just going to have a regular Slaanesh Demon Prince winged. Onto the walking Demon Princes, we're going to have a Nurgle Demon Prince with the Endless Gift. We're going to have another one with Khorne. I was going to do this one winged, but then I changed my mind. I was going to have two winged Khorne, but I went with Khorne for the walking Demon Prince without wings. And then lastly, one is Tzeentch. Unfortunately, you can only have 3 enhancements, so I went with the more melee stuff. I did think about giving the Tzeentch the Either Stave. I just thought to give it added buff to shooting. So the changes that you could make to this, like I said, this is just a format that you could tweak to try out if you have all of these models. If you're lucky to have 6 Demon Princes. You could take the Soul Stealer away from the winged Slaanesh. Then you could make this guy a Tzeentch. This walking Demon Prince have the Either Stave, and then I'd maybe make the winged Slaanesh that I just took the Soul Stealer from a Khorne one, and then change the walking Khorne one to a Slaanesh one. That's probably the changes I would maybe make, but I went with this because it was just a gut feeling and how I play. So overall, them 7 models are 1,600 points, including the enhancements. So that means you've got 400 points to play with for the rest of the list. Now, I have filled it in what I would maybe use, just to round off the list. I would cut it off there and let you guys pick what benefits you, not just let's pick stuff that buffs the Demon Princes, which would be nice. I just don't think there's enough points in it, because you'd have to get, you could get a Rendmaster in there, you could get a Maskless Slaanesh in there, you could get Fiends in there to help out, but then all of a sudden that's a lot of points taken up straight away. It's over 200 points just for the Rendmaster and the Maskless Slaanesh. And then end up getting targeted. You can protect them with line of sight blocking, but then they need to be visible to do their abilities, so it's a bit all over the place. So I've put in a unit of that's poorly edited, look at that, shocking. I've put in a unit of pink horrors to go in. They will probably sit on the home objective most of the game. Depending on the mission, they might have to branch out to the nearest objective. But they'll sit on the home objective with the Tzeentch Demon Prince. So the Tzeentch Demon Prince's stealth comes into play, so they'll always be -1 to hit at ranged, which is nice. And also, if you have something half scary like a Demon Prince at the back, protecting a squishy unit like this, it kind of makes your opponent think twice about going into your, and he said end zone, into your deployment zone. Makes you think twice, because having something there that can hit quite hard and is reasonably difficult to shift, then they refrain from doing so. They'll focus on other areas of the board. They might just sacrifice it. Not saying that you're not going to get charged, but I think it's a it's a good pairing. I think a good pairing. You could have Plague Bearers instead, higher toughness, more wounds, but these guys split, so it's potato, isn't it? But I just thought the Tzeentch link up was kind of cool and fluffy. Okay, And then I've gone with 2 Beasts of Nurgle. This is just me. I always pick these guys. They're always in my lists because they're just so good at what they do. Yes, they get targeted from shooting, but they score me so many points, I can't not take them. So I'm going to take 2 single units of Beasts of Nurgle. I'll be looking to get these behind enemy lines to deploy teleport homers, maybe on an objective to cleanse, area denial, things like that. They're just too good for me to not do it. I think they're an amazing unit. And lastly, I didn't know what to put in lastly, if I'm going to be honest, and I've went with my gut and I went with the plague drones. Now I'm going to pair these up with the walking Nurgle Demon Prince, so they get -1 to hit. And then obviously the Nurgle Demon Prince has the Endless Gift, so now we'll get more onto him in a moment. But yeah, I'm going to pair them up and maybe take a flank with them. I think this will be quite an aggressive list when you place out, but like I said previously, put in what you want for the last 400 points. If you just want to spam a load of flamers, spam a load of flamers. You want to put a load of screamers, spam a load of screamers. It doesn't have to be limited to what I've put in. This is just what I would play. I mean, another viable option is blue horrors instead of pink horrors to have them start on an objective. So you're rocking and rolling straight away. And then you can send something up to assist. You know, you've got a Khorne Demon Prince that can deep strike in, walking Demon Prince that can deep strike in and offer a -1 to hit on stuff. So it's very, very weird. I mean, you could even pair up Demon Princes, which I think I'd do with the 2 Zinch winged. Just send them up. Just send them up. Let's get killing stuff. So that's the basis of the list. Again, remember, you can change the last 400 points, but this is just what I would pick. And then we're going to look at Be'lakor. Obviously, we know he has a pretty stacked data sheet, but I'm just going to go through it again. I went through it briefly. The important thing is the Dark Master Aura, the 6 inches of Shadow of Chaos. So that's handy for deep striking the Demon Princes in. If you want to pull 2 off, get them in, bang, go. Because you can use the stratagem to drop within 3 for Be'lakor. So we're going to go through Be'lakor's data sheet. So obviously we know he's pretty stacked. Okay, I'm just going to go through the basics really. So the Dark Master Aura, the area of the battlefield within 6 inches of model is considered to be within your army's Shadow of Chaos, which we know, which is fantastic. So that's good. That means you've always got Shadow of Chaos up. So you're going to use him as your linchpin. Most times when you pick him in your list, you're going to be doing this anyway. But this is for me where you're going to get your Demon Princes in and get your 6 inches charges off. You could use the stratagem to drop him within 3. Obviously, you've got to watch out for stuff like infiltrators that have the 12-inch denial bubble. You're going to have to try and get around that, and that's where I think you'd send up the 1, if not 2 Demon Princes up to get in and clear that. But that's the main thing you're going to be looking at. And then obviously Wreathed in Shadows in the Shadow Form abilities while you're within 6 inches, not wholly within, which is key. So you can dip a toe within a Shadow of Chaos around him basically, and can't be shot at unless they're 18 inches away. And if they're 18 inches away, he can move 12. Be'lakor can move 12, and he's getting a 6-inch charge into whatever we're shooting. And then bear in mind you've got other stuff that can move just as fast, maybe a little bit slower, but they can get charges can be dropped off. So it's pretty cool. Then you could look at changing to Pallid Despair a bit later on in the battle, like battle round 3, maybe battle round 4. And in the Battle Shock step of your opponent's command phase, if an enemy unit that is below its starting strength is within 6 inches of this model, that unit must take a Battle Shock test. For the purposes of this ability, if the unit has a starting strength of 1, so a single model, it is considered to be below its starting strength or has lost 1 or more wounds, which is pretty cool. So if you're going against enemy monsters or tough vehicles, and it's, let's say it has 12 wounds and it's on 11, you're forcing it to take a Battle Shock test, and because you're within 6 inches of Be'lakor, it'll have a -1 to that test, and it will lose. If it fails, it will take D3 more wounds, which is nice. I think I do think that's nice. That's where Be'lakor comes in handy. I don't think that gets used a lot. I'll definitely be looking at that later in the game to just try and contest an objective and force my opponent to make a Battle Shock test. And if it fails, bonus. That means you're not scoring that objective this turn, which is pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to look at the Demon Prince with wings. Now, I love this one, especially with Khorne as well. I mean, I know we're not getting the buff from the Ren Master, which would have been nice. I mean, you can still do that in your list, but for this list, I'm not doing that. He's got a gun. It's not a shabby gun, but it's only 3 shots at 24 inches. But his Hellforged weapons are pretty good. And then obviously with Khorne, he's getting an extra 2 strength to his Hellforged weapons. And then because he's got, this one's got Agraf, the King of Blades, he's getting even more strength. He's getting even more strength. He's getting an additional 1. So his strike is sitting at a lovely 10 off the bat, basic, and, well, 11 basic because of the enhancement. But if he's in the Shadow of Chaos, it goes to a 12. So tough 6 units, he's wounded on 2s. You know, that's pretty darn good. I know it's only AP -2, 3 damage, but that's still pretty good. If you're going for things against like Terminators, I think the chances of you killing them Terminators are pretty high. So very, very good there. And then obviously he has his abilities. So we'll go with Malefic Destruction first. Once per battle at the start of the fight phase, when you use his ability, basically 3 extra attacks. Nice. That's lovely. So now instead of 6 attacks, 9 attacks. So that's nice. And that is nice. That's what you're looking for. You want them extra attacks to be more potent, you know. And then obviously Harbinger of Death. Each time this model is selected to fight, select one of the following abilities to effect. So you can just keep going. Lethal hits, precision, or sustained hits 1. Whatever's easier. So if you want to get rid of a leader, go precision. Lethal hits is good. Sustained, I think, is probably the best one because in terms of averages, you're going to roll just as many 6s as 1s. I know that's not always works because it's a dice game, but in the law of averages, it means you keep all of your attacks effectively. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing with that Demon Prince of Khorne. Yeah, so he's going to be potent. So he will go with the Walking Demon Prince of Khorne just to offer that stealth, to make him -1 to hit, both of them -1 to hit ranged, because I mean they have a 2-up save anyway, and then a -1 AP is going to take him to a 3-up save, and then they've got a 4-up invuln. So it's pretty darn cool. And then if you've kind of using line of sight so they can't see the whole model, then you're getting benefits of cover. So it is more survivable, and they are quite fun, especially the Khorne. The Khorne's quite fun. And then next is I'm pretty sure it's the same again, but this time it's the Soul Stealer. So not going to be as potent or as strong as the Demon Prince of Khorne, but you're quicker. You're going to be moving 14 inches, and chances are that's going to get you to over halfway, the midpoint of the board. You're going to get halfway across the board. So you're going to be very fast. So you're going to be early doors, contesting objective if you go second, obviously, or getting on an objective and hiding with him. Yeah, and every time you kill a model, you roll a d6 with the Soul Stealer on a 4-up. I think it's a 4-up. I will confirm that just to be certain. Come on, you're being slow. Come on, why is it so slow? So each time the bearer destroys an enemy model with a melee attack, roll a d6, adding 1 to the result if the bearer is within your army's Shadow of Chaos. On a 4-up, the bearer regains 1 lost wound. Yeah, so you regain wounds every time you kill a model. So that's kind of cool. So if you're on 5 wounds, you end up killing 5 infiltrators, for example. You roll really well. Let's say you got all of them, and you're in the Shadow of Chaos, and you roll a load of 3-ups. You get all your wounds back, which I think that's kind of cool. But I mean, yeah, I do like that. That would be quite cool. I think I would pair up both winged Slaanesh Demon Princes and send them down a flank together, because I think that would be kind of annoying to get rid of 2 toughness 9 models that move 14 inches. You think if they get to that they're going to get shot at. They are going to get shot at. But then and if they survive, they're then moving another 14 inches unless they have been charged or still in combat. Probably not if two of them have gone into a unit. And then you're going to move round. I'd say move. So you got, remember my baseboard style diamond. Forget the middle. You got your home, first, second, and third. I know that's really weird. You should be doing that, but I'd send them to the flank. Deal with whatever's there. Contest. Get rid of that. Clear the objective, and then move to the deployment zone. Get rid of some key units there, or go straight for their objective. Is what I would do. So if you clear that objective, you can then bring a Beast of Nurgle in. The Plague Drones and the other Demon Prince can come across, whatever. But I would send them down a flank, 100%. They'd be sticking together. Okay, and then we're moving on to the Walking Demon Prince. So obviously they have a gun. They have the same stats, basically. They have the same stat line. It's just the abilities are different. So the Prince of Darkness aura is well a friendly Legionnaire's demonic unit within 6 inches of this model, not wholly within, remember. Models in that unit have the stealth ability, so that's what I'm talking about, -1 to hit ranged, which is very, very nice. And especially the Demon Prince of Nurgle with the Endless Gift. So now he's toughness 11, because he's a Nurgle Demon Prince. This is so... I think this is quality, and I can't wait to try this out. So he has a 2-up save. So no AP stuff is a 2-up save. Then he has a 5-up feel no pain. If he's in the Shadow of Chaos, it's a 4-up feel no pain. And then once per battle, if you're getting bombarded with a lot of stuff, at the start of the phase, you could go, I'm going to have a 3-up invuln. So it's either a 2-up save or a 3-up invuln with a potential 4-up feel no pain. He's just going to be... He'll be a bugger to shift. He'll be a bugger to shift. And I think pairing him up with the Plague Drones, I think that makes sense. I really do think that makes sense. We'll go on to the... I believe it's a corn one I picked, wasn't it? Yes. So they're going to go in tandem as well. I think I'll deep strike these in, the 2 corns. I think I'll deep strike them in and they'd start off the board. And when he comes on, then they're going to go together. You've got to, I think, keep them in pairs and then assist the Slanesh Demon Princes. And you've got to remember, Bellacor's going to be moving around and doing stuff too. So this is I think it's fun. I think it'll be so fun to rock up and play. I'm not saying it's overly competitive, I'm really not, but I think it'll be so fun to go, oh, you're playing Demons, what you got? Yeah, I got 6 Demon Princes in Be'lakor. And they're going to go, what? I just think the 2-up saves, being able to just nip a wing beyond a ruin and go, well, I've got a benefit of cover because you can't see the whole model and things like that is cool. The stealth abilities is cool, so there's -1 to hits on everything, most things, as long as you keep them paired pretty well. Yeah, it's going to be so fun to play. I think this is going to be one of the most fun lists to play. And like I said, the last 400 points, I've said it early on in the video, but I'm going to say it again. Cater it to what you want best. Stick it with a load of Nurglings. Stick it with a load of Nurglings to screen off and allow you to move up. It's up to you what you want to do at the end of the day. I just went with something that I wanted to contest objectives for secondaries, for primaries, sorry, and then I can let the Demon Princes and Be'lakor do what they need to do, and the Beast of Nurgle can do a couple of the action secondaries like Cleanse, Deploy, Teleport, Homer, things like that, you know. And then lastly, the Zinch, he'll stick at the back. He'll stay at the back with the Blue Horrors, offering a -1 to hit for the Blue Horrors, and providing not bad shots, but I think stuff that's going to come forward, it'll be 6 shots, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. Fine. You got the stratagem to increase that to AP -2 to force stuff that has an invuln onto their 4-up invulnerable save, or you could potentially force them onto a 5-up or 6-up save if they don't have an invuln normally. Or if they just have a regular 2-up save, then it's a 4-up save again. But yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd have him at the back protecting the pink horrors, and as the battle goes on, if they're not coming in, you remove him from the board and you get him further up, because he can fight too, you know, he can fight, so you can get him in as an additional backup. Again, if things are going well, you could even remove the pink horrors, you know, it's not a problem. You could leave the Demon Prince there, use Realm of Chaos to remove the pink horrors, and then you drop them within 3 on an objective, and then they can take that objective to allow your Slanesh demon princes to move on to the next objective, or your Khorne, or your Nurgle, they can move on. You're eventually going to control that mid board and go, come at me. You got to come at me. You got to deal with me. They're going to try and shoot you. They're going to try and charge you, but I think you're going to be potent, and they're going to be focused on Be'lakor a lot as well. A lot of stuff's going to be going into him because they're going to be worried about what he can do, even though I don't think he's that potent in combat. I think the demon princes are probably better overall. That's just my opinion. If they're buffed, obviously, if they're buffed. But yeah, that's the premise of the list. So obviously, I'm a fixed guy. I think you could go tactical with this. I think you could have engage. Storm hostile objective is easily done. Area denial you can do pretty easily because I mean the plague drones are quite quick. You have 14-inch movement on the Slaanesh demon princes. So secondaries is preference to you. Do you like to play tactical? Do you like to play fixed? Me, I'm a fixed guy, and I do understand that you're open up to not really bring it down as such, but you are open to assassination's a big one. You could be given away if someone goes fixed and takes assassination. You could be given up 20 points essentially if they do manage to kill you. Bring it down, I think they could do as well. 10 wounds, I'm not sure. I have to look at that. Let's get that up. Just to make sure, I don't want to quote me being wrong here. Because you are a monster, but you have 10 wounds, so let's have a quick goosey ganders. If it loads, secondary mission deck. Bring it down. Yeah, so it's so you are open to bring it down because that could be a bit naughty. So yeah, so obviously a 10 up wounds, which is what they are, is free VP for every demon prince they kill. So if I seen this list, I'd go fixed and go assassination and bring it down. So just bear that in mind. You could be giving up some points in secondaries, but I do think you are quite resilient. So well, we've got them all here. Let's go through it. Extend battle lines. At the end of your turn, you control one or more objectives in your own deployment zone, which you're going to do with the pink horrors, and one or more objectives in no man's land. Yeah, do it. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Deploy teleport homer. I'm a big fan of that. I try to do it in the deployment zone turn 1 if I go second, but if not, someone in the centre's got to do it for free VP because I need to be pushing to do that. Investigate signals, the 4 corners. You could do that. You'd have to set up the beasts in the corners to begin with. That could be 4 VP right out the gate. Assassination, obviously, we know about that. No prisoners. That's destroying units. I think you target the weaker units with that, and that's where the Slaanesh demon princes come into play there. They can get in, kill something quick. Even down the other flank with the Nurgles. Nurgle, because that's how I do. Nurgle down one flank. Slaanesh down the other. Let me get that. Slaanesh down the other. Zinch down the bottom. Khorne drop in. Be'lakor being a linchpin to take stuff off the board and move around. That's how I would do it. Bring it down. I think you'd find that difficult with this list. Going against models with high toughness, I think that could be quite difficult. The Khorne guys would have to be doing that. Defend stronghold, obviously all good. Engage on all fronts, I think that's simple to do. I do think that's really easy to do. Overwhelming force. Enemy unit is destroyed within range of an objective marker. I think you'd be aggressive in holding them, so that could be difficult. You'd have to give one up to allow one, or go for their home objective. But you'd want to do 2 rather than 1. Though we are giving up the middle. So you could go to the middle and the home, like swap objectives, maybe, to get that. Secure no man's land, area denial, we spoke about. Tempting target, that's just going to bait you in for an attack. Capture an outpost, obviously, and cleanse. So for me, you could take cleanse because you're monsters, so you can shoot while in combat. So you're eligible to shoot. So if you're in combat with the demon princes, you can still fight, but you can still cleanse. Why not? Because you're already in a fight. Doesn't say anything about fighting. You can't charge or shoot Well, you're not. You're eligible to shoot 'cause you're a monster. So cleanse could be a good one if you're parking on objectives, especially with the Nurgle Demon Prince on 1. Like I said, you can move the pink horrors up, they can do it, and you have the Zinch one on your home. Or you have the Slanesh guys do it, and wait for the Beast of Nurgle to come in and do cleanse. I do think that is a valid secondary to take, along with maybe assassination or engage on all fronts. I do think that can happen, because you do have a fair bit of units to get in the corners. So definitely ones to take. I think it would depend on the opponent's lists. But yeah, for me, engage on all fronts, assassination obviously, cleanse, and deploy teleport homers. They would be my main 4, 100%. I wouldn't take Brickage, bring it down. Behind enemy lines you could as well. Behind enemy lines, that'd probably be the 5th in line, depending on what they've got. So yeah, what do you think to the list? Are you going to try a Demon Prince list? I do think it's interesting, and I do think it'd be really fun. Unfortunately, I don't have 6 Demon Prince models to try this out, but I think it would be so fun to play. I do think it will be one of the most fun lists to play. Again, I don't think it's overly competitive. I think you could hold your own against certain factions, but I think we're going to need to see this on the table. This might be coming in a battle report soon, if I can get 4. I've got 2 Demon Princes. I've only got to buy 4 more. I reckon I could get this built up and get this done, because I think that could be a fun game. Let me know in the comments what you do with the last 400 points, because that's for me. I'm just trying to be tough on one side, hold my home objective, and then I got my beasties doing my secondaries. And I think they're going to be too focused on your Demon Princes and Be'lakor early game, so you'd be racking up a few secondary points to begin with. Yeah, so let me know what you do with your last 400 points in the comments below. As always, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys.